A blind man climbed Mount Everest, solo. They said it was impossible. They said no man without sight could stand on the roof of the world. And yet, against every odd, against every whispered doubt, a blind man began the climb that would make history. This is not just a story about Mount Everest. This is a story about courage, resilience, and a man who refused to let darkness stop him from touching the light. Ever since he was a boy, Erik Weihenmayer dreamed of seeing the mountains, but by the age of 13, he had gone completely blind. A rare genetic disease stole his sight, but not his vision. While most would have given in to despair, Erik made a vow. If I cannot see the world, I will feel it, I will touch it, I will climb it. He learned to scale rock walls, to trust the rope, to trust his hands and feet where his eyes could no longer guide him. Step by step, he built a life not defined by blindness, but by possibility. And then came the greatest dream of all, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is not just a mountain. It is 29,032 feet of ice, wind, and death. The death zone above 26,000 feet has air so thin that your body slowly shuts down. More than 300 climbers have died trying to reach its peak. Now imagine doing it without sight. Every crevice a hidden trap, every icy ledge a blind step into eternity. Friends, doctors, even fellow climbers said it couldn't be done. But Erik said, "Blindness is not what holds you back. It's fear, and fear I can climb through." In May 2001, Erik and his team set foot on the mountain. The air was razor-sharp, slicing with every breath. His hands felt the ropes, his boots dug into the ice, his ears strained for the crunch of footsteps ahead. At night, when the mountain howled with wind, Erik would sit in the tent, his fingers running over climbing gear like a pianist memorizing notes. Every buckle, every knot had to be perfect. His life depended on it. Step after step, day after day, they rose higher. Through blizzards, through avalanches, through nights when frostbite nipped at his fingers. At 26,000 feet, the world is not meant for life. The body starves for oxygen. Every movement is like dragging chains. For Erik, the world was only darkness and sound. The hiss of oxygen tanks, the snap of ice axes, the muffled crunch of boots. But in his mind, he saw something greater. Not blackness, but a summit bathed in golden light. Each step was a war. His teammates guided him with words. Step left, ice ahead, rope here. And still, he pushed forward. At last, the morning of May 25, 2001, the final climb. The wind roared like a beast as Erik pulled himself up the last ridge. Every muscle screamed, his lungs were fire. And then, suddenly, there was no more mountain above him, only sky. Erik Weihenmayer, blind since 13, had stood on top of the world, the first blind man to summit Mount Everest. His hands pressed into the frozen ground, his face turned to the wind. He could not see the world stretching beneath him, but he felt it. He owned it. In that moment, he proved a truth larger than Everest itself, that the greatest mountains are not out there, they are within us. When the world heard the news, it was not just a climbing victory, it was hope. For the blind child who thought he would never live free, for the man in a wheelchair who thought his dreams were gone, for every soul trapped in darkness, Erik's climb lit a torch. Your limits are not walls, they are only doors, and doors can be broken open. Stories like these remind us that the human spirit is stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, stronger even than mountains. And if you want to keep hearing powerful true stories like this, stories that inspire, stories that challenge, stories that remind us of who we can be, then don't just watch, join us. Subscribe to Story District, because here, every story is a summit waiting to be climbed. A blind man climbed Mount Everest. What mountain will you climb?